Rottweiler Vlogs, episode 119. Your boys Mizzo and Mack back with some more dope content. This time we have Mr. and Mrs. McCarthy and their two beautiful Rottweilers. Please like, share, and subscribe, and as always, enjoy the video.
Hi, I'm McCarthy, and this hard-head, attentive dog is Honey.
I'm Kareem, and this is Baku. Felony. He was, like I said, my first Rottweiler. I probably got him at 17, 18. I remember bringing him home, and my mom was like, how big will he get? I said, not much bigger than what he is now, 8 weeks old. My dad was like, there's no way this is a Rottweiler. Paid $50 for him. My cousin found him, and we both, picked up one. And he grew up to be, in my eyes, a beautiful Rottweiler. I've known Sheena all my life. She met him. She, has experience with him. We talk about him to this day.
Well, where we're from is a really small town. So when we were growing up, again, me and Kareem have known each other all of our lives. So growing up, we just interacted, our families interacted. So the thing to do was to meet up at the parks on Sundays, and Kareem would bring Felony to the park all the time and just let him out, and he would just roam around the park and intermingling with everyone. And people would jump back because he was so big, and I was practically the only one who wasn't scared of him. I had a neighbor who had a Rottweiler, and it was constantly getting loose, and I would always get it, not ever knowing that Rottweilers were supposed to be these vicious dogs. I just knew that if you were good to a dog, they'd be good to you. So I would always just bring it back. So when we get to the park and Felony would just be roaming, I would always just call Felony over and play with him and love on him. And eventually you'd hear Kareem calling his name, and he wouldn't come back. And finally he'd find him. He said, I figured he was with you. Dogs are what you treat them to be, and I knew him, and I knew he wasn't a vicious person, and I knew that he had a genuine love for animals and for dogs. And if he had a dog, the dog was going to be well taken care of, well mannered. It wasn't going to be a vicious, mean dog. And of course, Felony was he was huge, but he was just a big teddy bear, and he was very lovable, very lovable. We've been together as a couple for 21 years. So
beautiful.
We've had quite a few dogs. We had a Weimaraner, and that was the most hyper dog. And between us, we have 4 children. So trying to do that and 4 children, we just no. We left Virginia and ended up in South Carolina, and we got a chocolate lab named Hershey. And Hershey was just phenomenal dog. Very intelligent, laid back, great with the kids, and he lived about 12, 13 years. He just passed about a year and a half ago. Our 2 older girls they're grown. They're out the house. They're 20, 25, 24. Our son, who's 24, but he's here still home, that's like Santa Claus walking through the door right there. They get so excited to see him. And you would think, because as a 24-year-old, he's not in the house as much, that they wouldn't have the relationship with him, but they're protective over him. They just, like I said, it's him walking through the door is like the best thing next to him walking through the door. They love him.
Yeah. Then as far as our youngest daughter, they're just protective. They don't play too much with her. It's funny because, he's learning not to jump on people, or has been learning not to jump on people, but he never has with her. He'll do it to me and my son, but never to her.
Yeah, he's very gentle with her. To see her hear her coming down the steps, they know exactly who it is, and they just, the tail stub in his case get to wagging, and they get so excited, and they listen to her just as well, and it's like, yeah, that's our big sister. and we just love it.
Initially getting Baku. So, Hershey, had him 12 years, he passed. So, was always debating on whether or not we were going to get another dog. Then I just started, showing her puppies pictures of Rottweilers, just, to test the waters. And
you was being slick with
it. Yeah, just worked it down, and then, I got my daughter involved, and, she started talking about getting another dog and stuff like that. And then one day, she just was like, okay, I'm kind of open to the idea, and that was a wrap. I called her and said, come, let's go look at this puppy. Let's go see this puppy. I just want to look at it. I just want to see what he looks like. So as we're driving. She's being chill, good sport, everything, and we passed Alabama state limits, right? She looks and is like, out. Where are we going? So yeah, so
we left kids at home.
Yeah, so I met Sean Bradley, Sean Brantley, I'm sorry, and he had Baku, and she came out, she played with him for a second, but then just went in the car and kind of just sat there. But I liked Baku. I thought he was a good-looking dog, so we did the transaction, and Baku came home with us. But the whole ride home, she had him in the lap the whole time, just
cuddled in his arms.
Cuddled up, licking her in the face,
baby.
and it's been a wrap ever since, as far as Baku is concerned.
That's my baby. I was told we were going to look at this dog, and I was like, okay, because it wasn't the first time we went to go look at a dog. And then we got there, and he tells me, no, if I like the dog, I got the money, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And I was like, what? And then I see Baku, and honestly, I wasn't that impressed. And he puts Baku down, and they're talking, and someone walked past. And the moment they walked past, Baku, as a, 8 weeks old, just stood up on guard. And I went, did you see that? And I instantly knew. And I was like, yeah, him. And so we brought him home, and yeah, but I'm one of those people that I'm like, I love dogs enough to know I don't want the responsibility. I know they're hard work. So I just wasn't sure if I wanted to go through that again. But once I had him in my arms, that's a wrap. I was in love with him. Use bribery and psychology, starting to get empty nesters ready for grandbabies. So I need something to love on. So he used those tactics against me, and once I gave him that inch, he took it and ran with it and came home with Honey, and again, it was a wrap. I loved her. So it's just interesting to watch their different personalities and how to mesh with them. It's funny. It's just like watching siblings almost. I talk about them to my mom, and my mom is like, it sounds like you and your brother all over again. And she's right. She's right. It is.
Who was the most spoiled out of the two?
Baku. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He gets his way?
He had more time on Honey, to where he was the only dog. So he's, jumping up on the bed and jumping up on the couch, and, he was just the baby.
Tell me, how was it when you watched your first Rottweiler vlogs episode, and, the reaction that you got from family and friends? I'm pretty sure you shared it on your social media platforms. And how do you feel about the series?
Like I said, the series is great. You do a great job producing the series. So the first time I saw one of them, I was real impressed, and the fact that you would even call and ask me to be on one was, just very great compliment for the dogs. And so, I don't like doing interviews. That's that part of it. But other than that, I love the series.
Of course, I love seeing my husband on any platform, so it was exciting to see, all of his hard work and research pay off, and to have that compliment of, wanting to feature Honey and Baku. Of course, we did share it on Facebook. Everybody loved it. It was great seeing all the feedback. Yeah, so I think it's a great series. Like I said, you're bringing a lot of attention, or giving some good attention to a very misunderstood breed of dog, you know, and hopefully people will understand or go out and want to get their own.
So this is a side question. When you put it on Facebook, did anybody ask you, when can I get a puppy?
Yeah, we've been getting that a lot, just through Messenger, just, you know, family mostly, but, you know, yeah.
What's your reaction when somebody asks you about getting a puppy? Because I think I have my own way of reacting. What's your reaction when somebody, especially family? I'll let you know.
I know somebody might have some puppies available type thing, but I don't know. We talk about that a lot. You know, just who would we want to have a puppy? You know, it's a tough question. I mean,
it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And like you know, eventually down the line, and you know, I'm not sure what your plans are, but if you was to breed these two, giving their offspring to a family is essentially them becoming your family.
Right.
So it's a big responsibility to make sure that they go into the right home. So
Right.
it's not an easy question when people ask that, and I think a lot of people don't understand that or realize it.
Right.
It's the same for you.
Yeah, I think that you hit it, you know, right on the head. That's exactly what it is. It's just, you know, I hate to say, you know, because, you know,
It's asking me to give up one of my babies.
Right. I was gonna say, you know, but you know, exactly. That's exactly it. Realizing that, you know, they need some one-on-one attention, you know, so that they can both get the proper training.
COVID hit and they weren't able to get as socialized as we wanted them to get. Couldn't take them out as much.
Yeah. So that's, you know, that's more the future of it. You know, Honey is getting older, so you know, maybe within the next year or so, puppies. But
he's brought up the other dogs. You know, let's sell the house, get a farm. You know, have our own kennel.
that's the dream.
Nice. Here in Georgia?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys for being on Rottweiler Vlogs, episode 119, and I'm sure that we'll feature you on episodes in the future. So thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Thank you.